Mic testing.
Right. Score 5.
The end of the first over. If you're just joining us, game between Microsoft Global Development versus Dell Technologies. Sorry, Oracle versus Dell Technologies. Sandeep Reddy bowled the first over for 5 runs. Second over underway. Outside half of the bat. Fielder at gully does a really poor job with that. Ball goes all the way to the boundary. Kiran Mohan getting that boundary. Kiran Mohan is being joined by Shaukat at the other end. Nine for 2 of 1.2 overs, courtesy that boundary from Kiran. We have Gopi bowling in from right arm over the wicket. Inside edge, lucky for the batter. Ball did not go through there. Driven this time, the cover fielder misfields it and feeds a single. Brilliant stroke from Shaukat. A Shauqeen boundary through the mid-off and cover region. Wonderfully played, just timing all the way. Over the bowler's head, dispatch for another boundary. Wonderful batting from Shauqeen. Shauqeen has looked really good. Shall I say Shaukat have looked really good last few games, but he's not gone on to get those big runs. Maybe today is the day when he's going to change that. 2 boundaries already in his first 3 balls. Dell Technologies moving on to 18 of the first 2 overs. defended towards short cover. No run is on offer again. Sandeep ready, running in from the media box end. Very well bowled again. Kiran looked like shaping to play an aggressive stroke, but realized that Sandeep had pulled the length back. So he just brought down his bat in a defensive manner. Send it again to the bowler. Hit beautifully in the gap between square leg and mid wicket. They run through for another single. Beautifully flicked off his pad. What a good stroke that is from Shaukat. Just giving the ball direction with his irons, playing it safely, perfectly within the gap. Wonderful batting. So 3 boundaries and a 4-ball face so far. Fantastic batting from Shaukat. Shaukat, player with a lot of experience behind him. Almost 5,500 runs in 160 odd games. Beautifully played again, but I think this time he may have picked up the fielder, who puts in the dive but unable to hold on to it. Is disappointed, throws the ball down in disgust. The call from the fielder at long on is that maybe you started a little too late. Akash, remember Akash bowled some lovely leg spin. Was impressed by how well he had bowled in the last game to win his team the game. Right-hander, the field changes. Long on stays back. Long off goes into the circle and point fielder goes back to the boundary. Starts with the ball on the leg stump, which is flicked towards square leg for a single. 27 for none, 3.4 overs into the game. Kiran batting on 13 of 16. Shaukat 14 of 6, getting that life early on. Half chance towards the fielder at long off, that wasn't taken. Cut it this time. The fielder takes a terrific catch. Not sure if the umpires want to review that. I think the batsman is happy to walk away. If I were the batsman, I would wait just to check whether the ball carried into the fielder's hands. Wonderful piece of cricket that from the fielding team. Fielder at point, plucking it inches off the surface. You can see there the batsman was happy to walk away. I think he saw it going into the fielder's palms. Early for DELL Technologies, 27 for 1 now. Punched off the back foot towards the fielder at mid-off. No run is on offer. So Abhishek comes into the attack, picks up a wicket, concedes 2 runs. Fantastic over from him. 27 for 1 at the end of 4 overs. DELL Technologies have won all 3 of their games. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 have won 2 and lost 1. So this is an important match for both teams. DELL will want to continue to stay unbeaten. Qualcomm winning earlier today, getting to 3 victories themselves. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 will want to keep up the pressure on Qualcomm with a victory here. DELL Technologies on the other hand will want to move up ahead of the pack. MFGD is on number 1 right now with 4 victories. But if DELL wins today, they'll go on top comfortably because they have a much better run rate than MFGD. 4.49 versus 1.89. So this is a very important game in the context of this tournament. Sandeep Reddy is back into the attack. 2.1 overs he's bowled so far for just 12 runs. Short ball that's picked off a length and hit comfortably over the boundary. 1 bounce. This is beautiful batting from Shaukat. 18 now of his 8 balls. Driven down the ground. I think Shaukat will be happy with the single on that occasion. Short ball down the legs. The keeper not able to collect. They can feed an extra there. 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗃 back on strike again, Sandeep. Long wide down the leg side. The keeper have no chance. The ball is racing across the turf. And 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗃 returns. Completes 2 extra runs there, added to the score. The keeper not happy with the bowler there. Expressing his discomfort. Beautiful stroke through the covers. Wonderfully hit by 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗃. The fielder in the deep runs around. Not sure if he's managed to stop that cleanly. We'll take another look at that. Yep, I think he's done well there. Kept it down to a single. Played on the legs. Just a single. 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗃 now batting on 20 of 10. Prasad just off the mark, 1 of 2. Last ball of the 5th over coming up. Goes big, launches it straight. Fielder at long on, runs around. That's Akash, who does very well to keep that down to a single. The end of the 5th. Score moves to 40 for the loss of 1 wicket. Drill down the ground again, but just a single towards mid-on. Ferret in the air. Not able to beat the fielder Akash there. Wonderful fielding that. Keeping it down to a single again. Beautifully hit off his pads. The fielder at fine leg runs across but can't stop that. 4 more runs for 𝘃𝗏𝗃𝗃. Launched it in the air, just over the mid-on fielder. Takes a good catch. For 𝘃𝗲𝗏 is dismissed. Once again, looked very promising. But his innings comes to a premature end. He's gone for just 26 for 14 balls. And Akash at mid-on takes a good catch, moving to his right, just above head height. Big wicket this for Oracle. DELL Technologies loses their second in the form of 𝘃𝗲𝗏. Sunil Kumar, the new batter, 13,200 runs. Wow, what a stat that is for Sunil Kumar. 13,000 runs. Takes a lifetime to score those many. He's managed to get 13,500 runs in 442 matches. And he also has 520 wickets to boast. Phenomenal performer, Sunil Kumar. So he comes out to join Prasad in the middle. Punch it off the back foot, straight to the bowler, no runs on offer. The last ball of the 6th over coming up. That's the end of the power play for us. The 46 on the board at the moment for the loss of 2 wickets for DELL. Moves towards the onside, hits it towards mid-on. They run through for a single, an appeal for run out. The keeper said, the umpire says no. The end of 6 overs, 47 for 2. Oracle definitely the happier team between the two at this moment. Akash, the new bowler into the attack. A phenomenal leg spinner who made a difference in the last game for his team, won them the match courtesy of wonderful bowling. He'll be bowling to Sunil Kumar, who's batting on 1 of 2. Starts off with the ball on the leg stump that Sunil sweeps towards the fielder at square leg. Nice to see the intent from Sunil, very aggressive between the wickets, just a single on offer. Akash Rastogi, 411 wickets in his 250 matches. A phenomenal performance that means he's picking over almost 2 wickets per game. Oh, almost created a wicket there. A nice full leg spinner to Prasad. Got the outside edge. Went like a flash to the fielder at flip. Think he did well to just get a hand on that. Tried his best to parry it in the air, but he could not. You can't call that a chance. But good bowling this from Akash. Full toss this time. Sunil drills it towards the cover region and the fielder makes a meal of that. That's the second boundary that they've conceded in the field in that fashion. This is not good from 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. They'll be disappointed with that. It should just have been a single, instead concedes the boundary. That gives so much of confidence to Sunil, who's new out there in the middle. You're desperate for runs when you are out early in your innings. Once again, you see they're playing across the line, trying to go for the sweep over mid-wicket. No bat on that. It was wonderful bowling from Akash. Playing a miss outside the off stump. Terrific from Akash again. If anybody has been complaining that this is just an out-and-out batting pitch, you can see when the bowler is willing to rip it, you do get some turn and bounce. Once again goes for it, once again misses. The ball is racing away to the boundary rope. Bye signalled by the umpire. So 2 attempts at that stroke, both unsuccessful. This time beats both the keeper and the fielder at flip. That's disappointing really from the wicket keeper. You are expected to catch those, especially on the offside. You can understand when the ball drifts down the leg, the batsman can blind you, but on the offside you're expected to take those. So Akash concedes 6 of his first over. 10 runs really, but 4 of those will go against the wicketkeeper, so just 6 in Akash's tally. And also of those 6, there's that boundary conceded at the covers region. Prasad facing Ishaq. Just defended towards the fielder at short cover and then run through for a single, and that's out! That was lazy running from Prasad. He almost thought that he had made his ground. Lazily just got his bat inside the crease. But the fielder, you have to give him full credit because he picked it up in one go and struck the stumps down. Fantastic work in the field that time from 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. It's been a mixed bag. They've had a couple of brilliant efforts and a couple of lazy ones.
Fielder name 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗵𝗃.
Let's take another look at that at the replay. You can see the batsman was so close, he just needed to drag his bat in. He almost assumed that the ball was coming towards him. Disappointing end to the innings for Prasad.
New batsman 𝗍𝗹. Okay sir, 𝗍𝗹.
𝗍𝗹 is the new batter. Again, 347 matches for 7,500 runs. So a lot of experience again with this batter. DELL seems to have packed their team with performers who've been scoring big runs over a long period of time. 𝗍𝗹 will go to the non-strikers end because that's where the run-out was inflicted. That brings Sunil back on strike. Looked very edgy in the last over versus Akash. Drills it past the fielder at cover. The fielder at long off runs around but can't stop it. 4 beautiful runs for Sunil. Rock back on the back foot, played it towards mid wicket for a single. Short ball played off the back foot towards the fielder at covers. Just a single to Diva to get off the mark. Defended off the front foot. The end of the 8th over, the score remains at 63 for 3. Dell in search of a partnership. We want to get a few runs now. But Akash with a wily leg spin will have other ideas. He's been bowling really well today, Akash. Diva taking strike against Akash for the first time this innings. 4 fielders in the circle are all on the off side. Interesting to see that they've chosen to stay attacking with a flip fielder in position. It's a wide-ish 4th flip. Beautifully played by Diva, just guided it for a single towards point. That brings Sunil back on strike. Sunil struggled last over against Akash. We saw 3 plays and misses from him. 2 across the leg side, 1 on the off side. What does Akash have in store for him now? Well, that time played well. Just waited for the ball to bounce and guided it to the fielder at point. No run. Once again, gets on his legs, sweeps it towards square leg, where the fielder is well positioned there, keeps it down to a single. Sunil looks tentative, feels like he's itching to go, wants to get a couple of big shots out of his way. Akash not allowing him that. Just nudged on the leg side. But Sunil wisely saying no, because the keeper there was alive to the possibility of a run out. Wonderful bowling this from Akash. 4 balls into the over, just 2 runs conceded so far. The quicker, flatter one outside the off stump that just keeps going away from the batter. Maybe the was hoping that the umpire will call that a wide, but that was definitely within the tram lines. This time hits it in the air towards the fielder at long off, just a single. Just 3 runs coming off that over from Akash. Once again, brilliant bowling by him. 66 for 3 at the end of 9 overs. Meera into the attack now, 210 games for his 160 wickets. He's an experienced bowler for sure. Meera bowling right arm over the wicket to Diva. Played it off the front foot, down towards the fielder at long off. Just a single again. I expect Sunil to go here. I think he's going to take the aerial attack. He's been ticking for a long time. He's been waiting to go. I think Akash has kept him quiet on the other end. Inside edge, lucky for him to get away with that. Just a single towards short fine leg. You can see Sunil is temperamentally just waiting to go. Wire outside the off stump. This time a good piece of bowling. Diva again chooses to let that one go. Halfway through the 10th over, the score 66 for 3. 69. Nudged it towards the long on fielder for a single. The 70 comes up with that stroke. Just opening the face of the bat, guiding it towards the point fielder, running through for a single. Sunil and Diva willing to play sensibly, give the ball its credit. Room that time, played it well. The fielder at third man does well to keep it down to a single. The end of the over, 10 overs bowled, 72 for 3. The first half of the first innings has definitely belonged to 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. If you had given them this choice at the toss, would you take 72 for 3? They would have grabbed it with both hands. So definitely 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃, the happier of the two teams at the moment. DELL in the meantime are trying to put together a partnership, trying to find a way to just find themselves back into this match. I mean, some tight bowling coming in from the spinners from 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. Whether or not DELL can manage to punch back, we'll find out in about 5 minutes time once we return from the drinks break. 𝗃 comes into the attack to start proceedings from the highway end. Starts off with a foolish ball that 𝗃 can only drill to the fielder at short cover, no runs on offer. Once again, they've defended back to the bowler, no run is on offer. Appeal for stumping, the umpire refereeing. I don't think the batsman had left his crease there, but it'll be interesting to see what happened here. I think his foot is well grounded. Three dot balls to start proceeding from this end. A fantastic start for 𝗬𝗃𝗃. DELL really struggling now, 72 for 3 of 10.3 overs. This time if hit it in the air and in the gap straight towards the fielder at long off. Final taking his time, take a flex stump guard, keeper making some changes to the field, cover being moved much straighter, the deep cover fielder being moved much straighter, and the fielder inside the circle covers being moved squarer. Full toss, unfortunately Sunil was not able to put that away. Akash misfields, just concedes a single. Really lucky the bowler to get away with that, because that should have gone for and picked off his legs towards the fielder in the deep, just a single. The phenomenal bowling and fielding from 𝗬𝗃𝗃. They're bowling to their fielders. Meera is into the attack again, not giving Sunil anything to work with. Advances down 𝗃, misses it. Once he missed, the keeper was going to not miss that. Phenomenal work behind the stumps to dismiss 𝗃. I was waiting for that opportunity. The pressure was building for a long time now. It was very clear that something had to give. And 𝗃 advancing down the pitch, missing the line of the ball, played almost around it. The wicketkeeper having all the time in the world to collect that and bring that back to the stumps, which he does with ease and dismisses him. So 𝗃 goes back without causing too much damage to the scoring today, and that brings their captain Sydney out to the centre. Phenomenal stat for Sydney as well. 13,400 runs almost in 488 matches at a strike rate of 176. He scored 260 runs in his last 5 innings and scored 118 in his last game of just 40 balls. So phenomenal players out in the middle, both Sydney and Sunil. Will the S and S make a difference for Dell, or will 𝗏𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗃 continue to place a lid on the scoring rate? A kind of a partnership for Dell that did not give them too many runs, ate away too many balls, and in the end losing a wicket. I'm sure Diva will be disappointed with that. Starts off with a short ball on the leg stump, and Sydney is not able to put that away. Just a single to the fielder at deep fine leg. Sunil can only play that back to the bowler again. No run is on offer. Huge gap between mid-wicket and fine leg. Want the batsman to play across the line. The batsmen are well aware of that. At the moment, they're not taking the bait. Sydney is back on strike. Last ball of this over. He hits it just in that particular gap that I was speaking about, but not too far away from the fielder. So just a single to end the over. The score moves to 78 for 4 at the end of 12 overs. So Isaac has come back into the attack. He's not picked up a wicket so far, but he's been economic. Once again, Sunil tries to hit that across the line. Once again, he misses it. I think the ball is going to run away beyond the boundary rope. 4 byes. The second time that has happened today against Sunil. He's just trying to get inside the line of the ball and hit it on the onside. Not getting any connection. Hit it in the air, straight towards the fielder at long off. Luckily for him, just going on the bounce. Defends that Sydney. Short ball. Once again, Sydney trying to hit it too hard. Just gets it to the fielder at deep cover for a single. His eyes must have lit up when he saw the length of that ball. Not getting the contact that he wanted. This is brilliant bowling from 𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗃, really well doing, sticking to the field. The bowlers are doing a consistently good job. Just as I say that, he floats one out outside the off stump. The fielder in the deep being beaten, and Sunil brings up a much needed boundary. Moves to 22 of 22 with that stroke. The end of the 13th over, the score moves to 90 for 4, just a tad under 7 runs an over. Two back-to-back wides on the leg side. You start off the 14th over from Abhishek. Left arm round the wicket. Tight, nice line and length. Cut towards the fielder at point for no runs. Play in a miss outside the off stump. The keeper 𝗹𝗆𝗃𝗵𝗆, but the umpire is not interested. It's been a wonderful display from 𝗚𝗃𝗃. They managed to keep a team like DELL quiet. DELL has got a phenomenal batting lineup, as I've been reiterating with their stats. They've found a way to keep a lid on the scoring and also picked up wickets from time to time. Again, well played, but no run is on offer. Wonderful field set. They're cutting down the angles. They know where the batsman is looking to take the single. They have the boundary riders also in the right places. So terrific job there from 𝗚𝗃𝗃 today. They look really charged up on the field. Another dot ball. You can sense the frustration for the DELL team here. Cut powerfully, but once again straight to the fielder at point. No run is on offer. So 5 back-to-back dot balls, just 2 wide of this over so far. So phenomenal bowling from Abhishek. Punches it in the air, or the fielder there makes a meal of that. That was a catching opportunity. I think that's Akash, I'm not sure. Maybe that's Akash. But that was a catching opportunity for sure. We'll take another look at that in the replay. May have gotten some fingertip on it. If you take a look at that, ball is hit in the air. Yes, that was a definite catching opportunity. And after having dropped that catch, Akash is now going to come into the bowling attack. Sydney batting on 5 of 11. Remember, his career strike rate is 176 over 13,500 runs. He's managed to get those runs at a strike rate of 176. That is phenomenal from Sydney. And today, Oracle have managed to keep him quiet. He's batting on just 5 of 11 balls. Leg spinner almost into the face there. Abhishek walking up, just checking with the batter where he was hit. Sydney indicating that it was the bicep that took the bulk of that. Once again, Sydney playing across the line, once again missing out. This is just unbelievable stuff from Oracle. Who would have believed this? 93 for 4 in the end of 14.2 overs. Batsmen like Sydney. Oh, almost another catching opportunity there. Was parried by the fielder at point. The fielder at gully ran behind him, but just a little bit too far away from him. So that's 2 lives for Sydney in close succession. And see that the fielder from gully also was running closely behind. So Sydney living a charmed life. Ward bound. Phenomenal this from Akash. Wow. Turn, bounce, both on display. Who says that this pitch is a batting beauty? This time, rocks on the back foot, picks the gap with perfection, hit it in the gap in the deep between mid-wicket and fine leg for a very well-deserved and a much-needed boundary for the DELL Technologies team. 98 for 4. They're really struggling now. Run rate of less than 6.5 runs an over at the moment. Once again, wonderfully hit. The fielder at point does not get down in time, lets the ball pass. And that's 2 back-to-back boundaries. Very important runs these for the DELL Technologies team because the pressure was mounting. Sydney had almost played out 2 back-to-back overs without scoring any runs. So these are much-needed boundaries coming from Sunil's bat. That also gives him some momentum in his innings, 30 of 25 now. So Akash proving to be expensive today. 3 overs for 18 runs. That's it. That's it wonderfully. Over the boundary rope for 6. Sydney really needed that because he's been kept quiet for a long time, which is very unusual for him. Like I was saying earlier, his career strike rate is 176 for over 13,500 runs, which means he scored those runs in about 8,000 or 9,000 balls. That is phenomenal for that period of time, for such a long career. But today he's been kept quiet. Even after that 6, he's striking at 80 runs per 100 balls, just 12 of 15, He will want one or two more big ones. He goes again, inside edge this time, straight to the fielder at square leg. Aggressive running from Sydney. Finishes the two comfortably. Cut it this time. The point fielder there doing well, keeping him down to a knot. Hit that past the bowler towards long on. Just a single added to the score. Momentum is such a big thing in cricket. Maybe just in the last 8 to 10 balls, the momentum is slightly shifting towards DELL Technologies. But they really need a few big hits now because time is running out. Only 26 balls left in this innings. They have to somehow try and reach 160 if they want to stay competitive in this game. Sunil not happy with how we played that. Just a single towards long off. Sydney goes hard after that, but just gets an inside edge. Well fielded by the fielder at fine leg there, because any mistake and that ball would have raced away to the boundary rope. Keeps it down to a single, the end of the over. 16 overs gone, 113 for 4. 4 overs left. How many more can DELL get? A wonderful boundary. Much needed boundary coming in for DELL there. Go for the big one again, towards the gap between long on and mid wicket. Does he manage to get that gap? Yes, he does. The fielder at long on almost kicked it over the boundary rope with his own feet. Just saying earlier about momentum. Once a team gets going, it's very, very difficult to stop them. DELL seems to have acquired that momentum in the last couple of overs. Playing a miss outside the off stump. It's a very good comeback from the bowler, 𝗙𝗏𝗃. Goes over the cover fielder, but unfortunately hits it straight to Akash. That's the second catch of the game for Akash. One at mid-off and now one at covers. He dropped Sydney earlier on, if you remember, in that same position when he was trying to run away from him to his left. But this time held on to it, and Sydney is now dismissed. He goes for 24 of 23. Not the best day in the office for Sydney. Importantly, 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗲 managed to pick up a wicket at just the right time. Just 20 balls left in the innings now. How many more can DELL get? Sunil has launched it in the air straight to the long off fielder. In fact, that was not Sunil, that was the new batter. A simple catch on the long off boundary being dropped. Another catch goes down. That's 2 in 2. 1 at long off, 1 at long on. So 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, who did really well earlier on in this game, courtesy those brilliant catches, is now struggling to hold on to any of their chances. A 124 for 5 of 17. 18 balls left now. DELL will try and get at least 36 of those 18 to take their score to 160. 𝗃𝗃𝗃, on the other hand, will want to keep them down to under 150. It's a cat and mouse game this. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 will really feel happy at the moment. Think they've done well to keep the team under the score. They've lost out on a few catches. They've made up with a few others. The field now square leg mid wicket, short fine leg, long off, long on, and a deep cover. And the three fielders inside the circle. Appeal for leg before, but the ball was definitely down the leg. Not sure what's happened there. I think there's an appeal. Looks like the ball may have hit the stumps. Yeah, I think they have an appeal for bowled. We'll have to take a look at that on the replay. Yes, the ball has hit the stumps for sure. Yeah, the keeper's gloves are a long way away. So the bails have been dislodged. The ball has hit the stumps on its way. So that's the end of the day for 𝗀𝗃𝗃. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is dismissed for 1 run of his 2 balls. The 6th wicket goes down. Abhishek comes into the attack, picks up his 3rd wicket of the day. Wonderful bowling performance this from Abhishek. 3 wickets for just 12 runs in 3 overs today. It's the slow bowlers who've caused all the damage so far. 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃, the new batter, goes for the big one up front. Just gets an inside edge. Sunil must be wondering what he needs to do to get back on strike. He just seemed to have gotten some momentum into his innings, 33 of 27. But he's been away from the strike for a little while now. Cut powerfully. The fielder at cover point does really well to stop that. Just concedes a single. So 3 balls gone in the over. Sunil gets on strike finally. He will try and harvest the strike and play a couple of big strokes, because he knows that the score is nowhere near enough. He's played a big stroke towards the leg side, but that just goes on the bounce towards the fielder at square leg. Keeps it down to a single. No timing on that from Sunil. Advances down the pitch, 𝗰𝗃. No connection. The keeper once again does brilliantly to hold on to that ball and dislodge the stumps. Another stumping. That seems like the order of the day. And 𝗍𝗶𝗃 picks up his 4th wicket. A wonderful performance from 𝗍𝗶𝗃 it has been today. Sudhir, the new batter, got a healthy average, 15. Somebody who's batting so low down the order. Can he just manage to find a way to rotate the strike so that Sunil can face as much of the strike as possible? Anyway, this is the last ball of this over. Hit it in the gap towards mid wicket and square leg. And he runs back for the second. No. 128 for 7 of 18 overs. The last 2 overs of the game coming up now. I think it will be Akash to bowl one of these. Akash will be bowling to Sunil. Leg spinner is always difficult to face, especially for the lower order batters. Sunil has been batting there for quite a while, 34 of 28. So it's important that he tries to retain strike as much as possible. Pitching outside leg, can't be given out leg before. That stroke, Sunil has missed at least 4 to 5 times today. He's just tried to clear his leg on the front foot and hit it on the leg side, but he's not managed to connect even one. This time beaten on the offside, checking with the umpire if that was wide. The umpire says no. Sunil is disappointed. That tends to happen when you're struggling. Inside out, played it over the fielder at cover in the deep. I think that is good for 2. That was poor running from Sudhir, but eventually made it. Once again, short on the legs, but not hit very well. The fielder in the deep overruns it, which results in that second run. An appeal for caught behind, and this time the umpire has raised his finger. So Sunil eventually perishes to the stroke that he's been trying to hit for a long time without any success. Very disappointing for the DELL Technologies team, because Sunil was the one batter who could have taken them over the 150 run mark score. Unfortunately, not to be today. Wonderfully caught by the wicketkeeper Shiva. It's never easy standing up to the stumps and the ball is spinning away. He managed to hold on to that edge, standing up to the stumps. If you take another look at the replay, you can see the edge on the replay, although the deflection was not big, but a slight change in trajectory. So good catch to bring an end to Sunil's innings. Akash finally into the wickets column himself. 𝗀𝗙𝗪, the new batter now out there in the middle for DELL Technologies, is 132 for 8 at the moment. Can they now reset and get to maybe the 140 mark. Defended that back to the bowler, no run even offer. So 19 overs gone, 132 for 8. Meera going to finish the innings for 𝗃𝗃𝗃. Looks like their strategy is very clear. They're only dependent on the slower bowlers. Meera, Akash, Abhishek, 𝗙𝗃𝗃 not as slow, but it's definitely slower than the regular fast bowlers that you would say. They've done the bulk of the bowling today and kept DELL under the radar, not allowed them any leeway throughout this innings. That should have been wide down the leg side. Bat of pad got in the way. If he had just managed to stay outside the line, he would have acquired a wide for his team. Move inside the line of the ball this time, hits it towards mid wicket, keeps it down to a single. That's well done by the fielder in the deep. Once again, similar stroke. This time more in the gap between the two fielders. Square leg and mid wicket gather around, eventually managed to keep it down to 2. $135 for 8 now. Just the last 3 balls of the innings. Down the leg side, this time a wide called by the umpire. So Meera struggling a little bit with this line this over. Outside half of the bat, hit towards long off. Just a single. 137 for 8 with that stroke. The last 2 balls now. Hit it in the air towards the fielder at long on. I think it'll go to him on the bounce. There's really good running between the wickets by the batters. So 2 runs scored, 139 for 8. The last ball of the 20th over coming up. That's in. Not out. The last ball of the innings coming up, 139 for 8. Played that back to the bowler. They run through for a single. So 140 at the end of 20 overs. 68 runs coming in the last 10 overs for the loss of 5 wickets. So 140 is what DELL have managed to put onto the board. 141 is what 𝗃𝗃𝗃 will need to win this game. Just a tad bit above 7 runs and over. DELL does have a strong bowling lineup, but I think 𝗃𝗃𝗃 will feel that they've done enough in this game to secure a victory. But in reality, whether they've done that or not is something we'll only know once they've batted, because the pitch does seem to be able to support some turn. The ball is bouncing as well on the surface. We saw Sunil being beaten a few times outside the off stump. So that was some credit to the bowler. But also the playing conditions now seem to be assisting spin. Whether or not that happens, whether DELL manages to defend the score or 𝗃𝗃𝗃 manages to go beyond the finishing line, we'll find out in about 5 minutes time when we return with the action. This is Idris on behalf of Team MVL signing off for now. back with the action. The first ball bowled has been dispatched over the mid-wicket region for a boundary. Perfect start for 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃. Sydney running in, bowling short, which is his preferred length. The batsman had a lot of time to get under that and hit it well in front of square for a boundary, almost towards the mid-wicket region. That's hit well as well, but this time fielded at cover point. Point rather. The field they have on offer at the moment. Two fielders outside the 30-yard circle, one at third man, one at cover point. Everybody else is inside the circle. On the leg side, just the two fielders, onside and square leg. Well bowled by Sydney. The fielder unable to collect the ball on that occasion, conceding the single, 5 runs on the board. This is a really interesting game of cricket. If DELL can somehow manage to throttle 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 for the first few overs, get that run rate to climb, pick up a couple of wickets. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 on the other hand will just be hoping for a partnership. If they can get 40-50 runs without losing a couple of wickets, they will feel that they have a very good chance of taking this game beyond the finishing line. On a length, just outside the leg stump, Shaukat runs across, throws the ball, and leg by added to the score. 6 runs of the first 4 balls. Short ball again, and that's belted. Just one bounce over the boundary rope. Brilliant stroke. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 again. He's bowled that length twice. He's been dispatched twice. So 𝗃𝗏 is seeing it very well today. And Sydney needs to find another way of dislodging this batter, because the short ball is not doing him any good. Full this time, driven to covers with no runs. End of the first over, the score remains at 10 for none. Sunil, the new bowler, into the attack, after having played a good hand to get his team to the score. He also has 512 wickets in 430 games, economy of just 6. Sunil is a really good bowler. I think DELL have picked up on the fact that spin is the way to go on this surface. Decided to bring on a spinner early on in the innings. Change in field now with a spinner in action. The mid-wicket fielder goes back, long on stays back, everybody else is inside the circle. Fielders inside the circle, short fine leg, mid-wicket, mid-off, cover, extra cover, point, and short third man starts off with one down the leg. Batsman asking for a wide, the umpire says no. Oh no, he has signalled it a wide. So late call from the umpire, but a wide signalled. Going for the big one, just short of the fielder at mid-wicket there. That was a catching opportunity maybe. The fielder there Doesn't still look alert enough. And he's bowled him off the pads onto the stumps. That ends Riyaz's knock for the day. Sunil comes into the attack and picks up a wicket. The non-striker telling him that there was a fielder in the deep, there was no point playing that stroke. But Riyaz has all day now to think about that. Unfortunately for him, his innings comes to an end. And see, he's disappointed and dejected, throws his glove up in disgust. Couple of lovely boundaries in the first over, both of the back foot playing against Sydney. But Sunil, the opposite end of the spectrum, keeping it full, flighting it in the air. Riyaz gets the inside edge onto the stumps. If we take another look at the replay, just hit his waist and then the stumps. So Riyaz goes early, 12 for 1.
Batsman name
Ravi, the new batter out there for 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Really interesting if 𝗃𝗃𝗃 win this game, because that will split the table wide open. MFGD will be the only undefeated team if that happens. If DELL is to go on to lose this game, and 𝗃𝗃𝗃 will join them in the top. Dead ball signaled by the umpire, not sure what happened there, maybe somebody spoke.
बैट्समैन को देख के हाथ लगा ले.
Not sure if that got the outside edge. It was very close. 𝘃𝗏𝗃 not able to hold on to that. We'll take another close look at that. We front on. This time he launches, and Sydney runs around in circles. No clear connection with that one from Ravi. Lucky to get away with that with a single. Ravi must have had his heart in his mouth, wondering whether or not Sydney will get to that. Luckily for him, it just evaded Sydney. Very well bowled. Keeps it tight. Just 3 runs conceded in the over. One of them was a wide and picked up a wicket. So very good return from Sunil. Sydney comes back into the attack, bowling from the highway end. Interesting what he bowls this over. Before last time, his preferred length has always been the short of length ball. He got put away for 2 boundaries in the last over, but that was a different batter, Riyaz, who's been dismissed by Sunil this over. Whether or not Ravi plays the same way, we'll find out. But for the moment, the field on offer. Again, Sydney looks aggressive because they have a slip in place. On the leg side, there's just short mid-wicket and a mid-on. The short mid-wicket is moving squarer, maybe towards a square leg position. Somewhere between a mid-wicket and a square leg. Right arm Over the wicket. Wonderfully bowled. Appeal for leg before the umpire says no straight away. Not sure what happened there. Maybe there was some bat on it. Very strong appeal from DELL. Cut towards the fielder at point. No runs on offer again. A good start to this over, this time from Sydney. Beautiful stroke that time from Ravi. Just using the bowler's pace, lofting the ball over his head. Sydney needs to find plan B soon because they're defending a smallish target. Change in field now. One leg comes into the circle, long off goes back. That tells me that Sydney is planning to bowl fuller. No, he does just the opposite. He bowls a short pitch ball. The umpire calls it a no ball. So it's return to the bowler. Just a second. Sydney had overstepped by a mile on that occasion. Long way outside the popping crease. Maybe striving for that extra pace. Good umpiring there from our on-field umpire. Catching that in real time and calling it a no ball. There's 2 balls left to go this over. So Shiva facing Sydney. Played towards the short fine leg fielder for a single. The last ball of the 3rd over coming up now. 20 for 1 the score at the moment. 7 runs conceded so far this over. All things considered, that may be a good outcome because there's a boundary hit and a no ball conceded as well. It's very important how Sydney finishes this over for Team DELL. And he does not do well. Lands it outside the leg stump. And Ravi plays a scintillating stroke off his pads. What a good looking shot that was to get the gap between square leg and fine leg. So 𝗃𝗃𝗃 going well, 24 for 1 at the end of 3 overs. Sunil back into the attack from the highway end. Sunil comes back, right arm over the wicket. What a good shot that is. The fielder at mid-off, runs around, pulls off at the right moment, allows that ball to go beneath his leg for a boundary. So 𝗃𝗃𝗃 going great guns at the moment, 28 for 1. 𝗃𝗶𝗃𝗲 brings up his first boundary with that stroke. He's batting on 6 for 6. On a length, punched just behind the fielder at short cover for a single. Sunil doesn't look happy with that. There's not a lot that he can do about it. Left-hander now comes on strike, so that'll mean a truckload of changes in the field. It's never easy when you have a right and left combination going. Look at that short turn man fielder. I'm sure he's in the wrong position. It's too fine, I think, to be of any use there. He was in fact not even watching the ball when that ball was bowled. Short of a length, punch towards the fielder at mid-wicket. It's again no runs on offer. Beautifully bowled. Round armish action that time. What that does, it brings in variable bounce on the surface every time you do that. This time goes in the air towards the fielder at long off, but just on the bounce. 6 runs of that over. The score moves on to 30 for 1 at the end of 4 overs. Marginally ahead of the required run rate at the moment. 7.5 runs in over. 𝗕�la𝗃𝗃, the new bowler into the attack, right arm medium. Again, a 194 matchup for 230 wickets. So he's been a prolific wicket taker. But right now, the 𝗬𝗫 will have to wait and watch whether it gives him anything to do. The field at the moment, a deep cover and a deep long off over the 2 fielders outside the 30 yards. Starts off with a length ball outside the off stump. That's nudged towards point for a single. Short ball. Gets the outside edge. Unfortunately for DELL, there's nobody to catch that. The ball races along the surface beyond the boundary rope in the third man region. Nobody moved as that ball raced along. It was just resignment to the fact that that had gone to a boundary. The fielder at third man just turned around to collect the ball. This time punch back to the bowler, who fields it off his own bowling. Beautifully punched off the back foot. Wonderful stroke that. The ball is racing away all along the turf, beyond the boundary. This is a great start now for 𝗃𝗃. 39 for 1 at the end of 4.4 overs. Just 26-28 balls into the game. They've already gotten into a position of some comfort. They can just manage to not lose any more wickets for the next 2 or 3 overs. I dare say that they'll canter across the finishing line. Just a single down to long on. Ten runs conceded already of this over from Vicky. What a shot! It's carried all the way over the mid-wicket fence. Wonderful batting there from Ravi. Playing referee cricket, playing to the merit of the ball. That was in the arc for him to hit it, and he hit it a plumb. 6 runs beyond the oak tree. Sunil is going to stay into the attack. He's bowling his third over on the trot. 46 runs already on the board of 5 overs for the loss of 1 wicket. They just need 6.3 runs and over from here to win this game. We have an additional fielder on the field now. The batsman pushes him away, but he wants to view the action from a close distance. There you go, running towards the square leg umpire. Punched it off the back foot again, wonderfully hit between the gap. 4 more runs. 50 comes up with that stroke for Team Oracle. Shiva on 20 of 12, Ravi on 18 of 14, both batsmen batting really well at the moment. On a length again, the batsman reading that quite well, moving back in his crease, punching that off the back foot towards the deep cover fielder for a single. The left armour, or the left-hander rather, is back on strike. Remember, we are still within the 6th over, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. Looks like they have 3 at the moment. They have to find a way to get 1 fielder back in. Long off and cover for the 2 I think that they've decided to go with. So mid-wicket comes back within the circle. Nudged it towards the cover fielder and run across for a single again. This is both aggravating and irritating for the bowling team. Right and left combination. Every ball the fielders need to change positions. And you're defending a low score. Makes it all the more difficult for the fielding team. Once again punched off the back foot towards the fielder at deep cover for a single, and that'll mean there'll be a change in field again for the left-hander. Yep, point goes back to the boundary. Third man comes back to third man. Square leg stays, mid-wicket stays, and long off remains back. Beautifully bowled. I think that's an appeal for stumping. The umpire says no, the batsman never lost his crease there. 𝗃𝗏𝗏 really well behind the stumps. Shy at the keeper's end, that time goes awry and concedes the extra run to bring the end of the over. 6 overs gone, 54 for 1. The run rate has been climbing every over. A phenomenal batting from Oracle. Shiva batting on 22 of 14 and Ravi batting on 20 of 17. Sunil has picked up the solitary wicket. 3 overs 17 for 1. Vicky has gone for an expensive first over for 16 runs. And Sydney has also been expensive with over 20 runs being scored off his first 2 overs. Interesting to see who comes into the attack. I'm sure they're not going to go to Vicky again after having conceded 16 runs. Looks like it's going to be Prasad. Prasad, the bowler. He may have to lose his hat if he wants to come into the attack. He's picked up 388 wickets in the 440 games. Looks like a slightly expensive bowler because his economy is 7.5 over his long career. Prasad bowling right arm around the wicket to the left-hander. The field now, since the 6 overs are up, is going to spread out. Interesting which way DELL goes with this because they don't have too many runs to defend. If I would be them, I would try and get at least 5 fielders inside the circle to stop the single from going through. So covers, point, short third man and mid wicket are the 4 fielders inside the circle. Starts off with a short ball on the leg stump. The batsman puts away. The fielder there does a really poor job. He had it covered. For some reason in the end, he's got his feet in a wrong position and let that ball go past him. Wide on the offside this time. That tells you that a bowler is not in form when he bowls one down the legs and one outside the off stump. This time that's punched or cut rather towards the cow point fielder for a single, which brings the right-hander on strike. That will mean a whole lot of changes in the field again. Playing a miss outside the off stump on that occasion. No harm done. This time played towards mid wicket for a single. So going through the motions now, 𝗃𝗃 look like a very confident team at the moment. They've got a start, they have the wickets in hand. It's just a matter of time now. Played towards the fielder at short cover. No run is on offer there. That was fired into the stumps. That was good bowling. Fielder at mid wicket runs around, keeps it down to single. The end of the over. 7 overs gone. 62 for 1 the score. Change in bowling now from this end for the first time. Looks like Prasad has finished this over, so we will have a new bowler come into the attack. It's taken. The left-hander is dismissed of the first ball. Prasad takes that catch at point. Listen is the bowler who listens to his captain and gets a wicket of the first ball. An interesting and an important breakthrough that for DELL Technologies. They absolutely needed that. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗲 ball listen, 26 of 22. Let's take a replay. Cut straight into the arms of that fielder that was flying. The umpire taking evasive action there, just moving away from the line of the ball. But the fielder not allowing the ball to go through. So not a lot of celebration from DELL. Maybe they know that they are not ahead in this game despite having picked up that wicket. Meera, the new batter out there. Starts off with the dot ball. So what a good entry this has been for Listen. Comes in, picks up a wicket of his first ball. Shot one there. Fielder at short, third man after fielding, throws it back to the keeper. Just a single. Wonderfully hit through the line of the ball, drilled past the fielder at short cover. It's a good boundary from Siva. It's looking really good now, 27 of 17. Of the kind of the time when 𝗀𝗏𝗃 I think had gotten out for the DELL Technologies batting team, which created a huge dent in their scoring ability. Similar stroke, this time straight to the fielder. Down the leg side, big wide that, but 𝗀𝗏𝗃 does well to move around, stop that from going through. Let's hit back, straight pass back the bowler. Not sure if he got his leg onto that. Hit the stumps, ricochet to the fielder at long on for a single. The end of the 8th over, the score moves to 69 for the loss of 2 wickets. On the legs, but hits straight to the fielder at the fine leg boundary. Keeps it down to a single. Straight pass back the bowler for a single towards long on. Punch towards point, no run on offer there. Once again, punch to the fielder at cover point on that occasion, no run on offer. This time it's hit on the leg side, the fielder in the deep, keeps it down to a single again. It's good fielding from DELL. They're making every run count. 72 for 2. And last ball of the 9th over coming up. In the air that time, on the bounce towards the fielder at mid-wicket, who does the fielding, keeps it down to a single. 73 for 2 now at the end of 9 overs. Just about 8 runs and over the current run rate. Listen plays that in the air towards the long off fielder, just a single. Likes that occasion. Batsman just move inside the line, plays it towards the fielder at fine leg, keeps it down to a single. So it's good batting from 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, just milking the bowling without taking any risks. Outside half of the bat on that occasion, towards the deep fielder at covers, just a single. Towards the cover fielder, single again. Time played in the air towards long on. The call is for 2. Wonderful running by the non-striker on that occasion. The throw going to the wrong end, but definitely too far away from that fielder. The end of the 10 overs. The score moves on to 80 for the loss of 2 wickets. The 60 needed now of 60 balls for 𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗀 to take this game home. The change in ends. Listen to get into the attack from the media box end now. The field on offer. Long off covers. Batsman wants to go after that. Just gets the bottom of the bat. No runs. What DELL needs here is a couple of tight overs. What 𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗀 needs is just a little bit more of this partnership. It's been going so well for them. Deep cover, deep long off, deep long on, mid wicket and square leg. These were the 5 fielders outside the circle. Clear it in the air towards the fielder at deep cover, who fumbles it and concedes the second. Going around the wicket now. and fires it into the stumps, clears the front leg and punches it off the back foot towards the cover fielder. Switches back to over the wicket to the other batter. Bottom of the bat, wonderfully well fielded. The fielder at covers, no run is on offer. Short ball. Play and a miss outside the off stump. So good over this for Dell, just 4 runs conceded. They need to tie in a few tight overs if they want to create any pressure. Prasad comes back into the attack. Right arm over the wicket. Punched again off the back foot towards the fielder at deep cover. Keeps it down to a single. Punched again off the back foot towards the fielder at long off, just a single. This time played towards the long on fielder, again concedes just a single. '87 for 2. So stats score that the Australians deem unlucky. 100 minor for 13. Dragged it from outside the off stump towards the long on fielder. Another single. Launch of it in the air, straight towards the fielder, but holds on to a wonderful catch. Snell, I think, is the fielder there at long on. Giving Prasad the first wicket for 88. So Shiva is dismissed finally. He's playing really well, Shiva. 39 runs of 31 balls with 5 fours. His innings comes to an end. This went for 1 shot too many. Hit straight into the fielder's hand at long on. He gets dismissed. Is that the glimmer of hope that DELL were looking for? The current run rate about 7.4, the required run rate about 6.5. So Bharat comes out to bat. Joining Meera in the middle. Meera batting on 9 of 13. Carrying the wrong piece of glove. This is extremely unprofessional. Bharatendra, 5 matches for his 33 runs. Doesn't have a lot to go by in terms of statistics. Right arm over, bowling to Bharat. Playing a miss outside the off stump, that was close. There's an appeal for stumping. 𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃 seems very excited. 𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃 calling for the third umpire, conferring with Sydney. Third umpire being called. An interesting appeal there. Looks like what happened was the keeper collected the ball, he waited on, held on, he dislodged the bails at the right time. The batsman was out of his crease, but in the meantime, the main umpire had already called it over. So both things happening at the same time. So once the rules of cricket state that once the umpire calls it an over, the ball goes dead. Because the ball was dead, the striker cannot be given out stumped. So touch and go there, an interesting appeal. I think the right judgment being made at the end of the day. How consequential is this going to be? Only time will tell. 88 for 3, 12 overs gone. So in the air, on the bounce, towards the fielder at long on. The kind of times when I wonder that why do fielding captains choose to have long on and long off back? It'd be so much better off having at least one of those fielders inside the circle, which creates the attacking opportunity for any kind of a miss hit. There's a chance to take that catch. And this time he's got him for sure. 𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is extremely confident. The batsman walks. Not sure if the umpire raised his finger, but the batsman is walking Bharat again. Wonderful wicket keeping that from Shaukat. Stayed behind the stumps at all times. Beautiful glove work. Bharat dismissed. You see, he collects the ball just behind the stumps and then dislodges the bails.
Batsman name Akash.
46 balls, 52 runs.
So Akash now walks out to the middle. So that's wonderful wicket keeping from Shaukat. Got his opportunity and took it. I think he did well last time around as well. He should have had the batter out last time. The umpire had just not called it an over. He would have dismissed the batter then. Nevertheless, so Bharat gets dismissed. 89 for 4 now. In a spot of bother, the Oracle batting team and DELL have found a way to come back into this game courtesy those 2 quick wickets. Another stumping appeal. Foot was grounded all throughout. Bharat must have had his heart in his mouth. Drilled towards the long off fielder for a single. Another single down towards long off. Akash interested in the second, but Meera was not interested. Wonderfully played and run by Akash. Well judged single towards the fielder at covers. The end of the 13th over, the score moves on to 92 for the loss of 4 wickets. .49 needed from 42 balls. Exactly 7 runs and over is the current required rate. They'll have managed to somehow bring themselves back into this game courtesy those 2 quick wickets. Looks like it's going to be Prasad again. Right arm over the wicket from the media box end. He'll bowl to Akash. Akash, I'm sure, will plan to hit a big one here. Punches it off the back foot towards the cover fielder. No chance for a second. There was a slight fumble, but still the fielder was attacking, not giving the batsman an opportunity for the second run. Meera. Moves across the stumps. Just very lucky to get away with that. I think he must have gotten an inside edge. Otherwise, that was doomsday. Akash back on strike. He must be targeting the long off area. It's an appeal for run out at the bowler's end. Advances, hits it down towards long on. Fielder does well, keeps it down to a single. And just feel like the tension is building on the ground. Feels like something is going to give. 7 overs left in the game, fading light. Once again, hit in the air towards the mid-off region. Akash running back for the second. Wonderful running. He's disappointed with that, Sydney. Should not have conceded a second there. Once again. And he's taken it. What a catch that is. On the rebound. Brilliant catch, which brings an end to Meera's day. Ghrsha takes a magnificent catch in the covers to dismiss Meera, who was batting out there for quite a while. That brings 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗲 out in the middle, an accomplished batter. Let's take a look at that replay. Jumped at the right time, got the rebound and held on to that catch. Meera gets dismissed. 14 runs of 18 balls. The required run rate now creeping up to over 7 runs and over, 7.14 and over needed now. Oracle will feel comfortable with that rate as long as they have a couple of batters out there. I think Akash is the big man for them. Played really well in the last game to get them across a good score, which was good enough in the end to win that game. I think it was against Service now, if I'm not mistaken. He starts off with a big hit towards the mid-wicket region. But just a single. Really impressed with Shaukat, the wicketkeeper. He's a phenomenal live wire on the field. Like how he gets behind the line of every ball. He's always willing to back up. He's always helping his captain out with the angles. You can see that on the field. He's a live wire. Keeps connecting from time to time. Gives feedback. Asks questions. That's exactly what you need from your wicketkeeper. There you see, he goes again. So what you want from a senior player in the team, you want him to stay connected to the details, you want him to stay involved in the game. So pleasure to watch Shaukat. That stumping that he inflicted just a little while ago was a piece of beauty. So Diva, right arm over the wicket, has over 200 wickets in his 300 games. An economy rate of 7, that's not bad. Right arm over the wicket. Hit powerfully in the air, just past the fielder at cover, rushing towards the boundary. Fielder does really well but can't stop the 2. The 100 for Oracle comes up with that stroke. 100 up for the loss of 5 wickets in the 15th over. Powerfully hit, but only a single towards Sydney at long off. Batsman not happy with that. I think he wanted more. That was a short ball. Maybe he was trying to hit that over the cover fielder. But instead, just got the bottom edge of the bat towards the long off fielder. Similar result for Akash. Sydney again keeps it down to single. becomes such a tight game, this. Interesting field. They have a long off, a short mid off, and a long off, and a short cover, sorry. And he hit it in the air, just on the bounce towards the fielder at long on. Runs around and keeps it to a single. A 103 for 5. Just beyond the reach of the fielder at covers, and that ball goes over the boundary rope. A very much needed boundary for 𝗬𝗃𝗃. 𝗏𝗏, the talisman for Team 𝗬𝗃𝗃. He goes out with the bat in hand. He always shows a lot of intent. The fielder at cover just could not jump high enough to catch that. That's a bad piece of fielding. So 2 back-to-back boundaries. A lethargic effort in the field results in a boundary. So all of the good work done by DELL in the previous few overs almost coming to nothing, courtesy those 2 boundaries that over. So 30 now needed of 30, 111 for 5, the end of 15 overs. DELL at the same stage, we're at 102 for 4, so 10 runs behind, or 9 runs behind where 𝗬𝗃𝗃 are at the moment. This beautiful batting from 𝗀𝗃𝗃. He's just come in, rotated the strike very well, got 𝗏𝗏 back on strike, and 𝗏𝗏 have hit the boundaries that his team has needed. 13 of 8 already, so very good cameo from him. Fielder in the deep at cover does really well to stop that and keep it down to a single. 113 now for 5. Every ball seems like an event. This match is going down to the wire. And he's bowled him! Phenomenal bowling this. Sunil Kumar comes back into the attack, picks up his 2nd wicket. And 𝗀𝗃𝗃, who was batting so well, is dismissed. That was a wild slog across the line. Just needed the single on that occasion to bring 𝗏𝗏 back on strike, who was batting so well. But cricket makes you do funny things. And see there, he was out of his crease. If the ball had not hit the stump, Shaukat would have had a chance with a stumping go as well. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is distraught. The 6th wicket for 𝗬𝗃𝗃 falls. 28 needed now of 26. What a match we are witnessing between 2 big teams, DELL and 𝗬𝗃𝗃. DELL undefeated so far. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 have just lost the 1 game. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 will really want to pull this victory out. It is their game for the taking for sure. 28 needed of 26 with 4 wickets in hand. Just needs some composure out there in the middle. Short 3rd man, runs around, keeps it down to single. The best thing about that, if 𝗏𝗏 comes back on strike, keep hearing that word, 𝗏𝗏 back on strike, 𝗏𝗏 back on strike. Every time I say 𝗏𝗏 back on strike, 𝗬𝗃𝗃 will feel happy. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 will feel blessed as long as 𝗏𝗏 can bat there. Oh, and that almost came to an end. That missed the leg stump by a whisker, maybe an extra coat of varnish, and 𝗏𝗏 would have disappeared into the 𝗏𝗏. Let's take another look at that. That was mighty close. Oh, that was close. Side on angle. Oh my God, that was mighty close to the leg stump. Very lucky Akash to still stay out there. The end of the over. 16 gone, 114 on the board for 6. 27 needed of 24. Just a tad bit under 7 runs and over. Sydney with the ball in hand. He's been expensive today, gone for 20 of 2 overs. Obviously the set of batters back then were different. And he's bowled him! Comes in, hits the off peg, sends Chetu back. Dismissed for 1. Akash on the other end can barely watch. He hangs his head down. He must be ruining the fact that he missed out on the last ball of the previous over. Maybe a single and he would have had strike. This is phenomenal from Sydney. Runs in. Lands it on a length, gets it to rise, deviates off the seam, hits the middle stump. That is as good as it can get. So Chetu is dismissed. "23 balls, 27 to get, 3 wickets in hand." Oh, how this game has changed. It looked like a canter a few overs ago for 𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗃. Looked like they were cruising on their way to the game. Third man, deep cover, deep long off, deep mid wicket, deep long on, over the 5 fielders out. Well bowled and wonderfully well played by the batter towards square leg for a single. Akash will be happy with that single because that will bring him back on strike. It's important from my perspective that Akash plays this over out. If he can get a boundary in the 4 balls, he would have done his job. But more importantly, he needs to make sure that he does not expose the tailenders to Sydney's pace. Powerfully hit by Akash down the ground. It was a very, very bad effort there on the boundary rope. Sunil runs across. That almost comes in the way and concedes a boundary. Call for 2 there. Good decision by the non-striker to send him back. Akash would have been fouled short for sure if he had run that second run. A very good piece of fielding that from the deep. 21 now of 20. 3 wickets in hand. Sydney bowling to Kiran. Beautifully played. Once again, the fielder at cover makes a meal of that. Concedes 2 where there should have been a dot ball. And 𝗃𝗃𝗃 is all smiles now. A fielding effort. Just letting them down at the right moment. 122 for 7 now. 19 of 19 needed. Once again, that's beautifully played. Off his legs, just a single on the leg side. Ends the over, keeps him himself on strike. 𝗰𝗆 comes back into the attack now. Remember, he had gone for 20 off his first over, 𝗰𝗆. Sydney basically has no choice. He has to bring him back into the attack. 18 needed of 18. Bharat at the non-striker's end. Kiran at the striker's end. Akash at the non-striker's end, batting on 19 of 13. See the train running away in the background. The field, short third man, point, covers and mid-wicket. 4 fielders inside the circle. They've hit it in the air and he's taken it! So 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 comes into the attack, picks for wicket off his first ball. And Kiran is sent packing. Akash is distraught, he can't believe what he's seeing at the other end. Just 18 needed of 17 now for 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃 to snatch this game. Isaac comes out to bat now. Oh, how much pressure is Isaac carrying on his shoulders. Kiran looked good for the few balls that he played out there. 4 runs off the 4 balls, looked in control. But Vicky came out, bowled around the wicket, just hit it on a length, and he hit it straight back to him. Isaac has 1600 runs in 88 games at an average of 20, so he's no mug with the bat. Looks like a very accomplished batter, in fact, to me, Isaac. Also has a strike rate of 135, so he's definitely not a mug. What a luxury it is to have a player with an average of 20 at number 10. But pressure can make you do silly things. 𝗬𝗃𝗃 just need a partnership. They just need to bat out maybe 1 or 2 overs here, and then it's their game for the taking. Again, Akash being hyper aggressive, wanting to get to the striker's end. Run out opportunities definitely on here. The fielders need to be alert and alive to the situation. Time hit in the gap towards the leg side. The mid-wicket fielder runs in. They do take the second. Nothing that the fielder could have done there to stop the second. The ball was hit in the gap with perfection. $16 needed of 15 now. Play and a miss outside the off stump. Isaac, 2 of 3. Hit to the cover fielder, run immediately, a single on offer. So last ball of the 18th coming up. Akash needs to find a way to take a single this ball. Needs to retain strike for 𝗬𝗃𝗃. The twilight hours of the day, the twilight moments rather. Hits it in the air. Sydney runs around. They get 2. But what that means, if that Akash is away from the strike, 13 needed of 12 now. Oh, this game has gone right to the wire. Looks like Sydney is going to walk back to bowl this over. So Sydney will bowl the 19th and probably Vicky will bowl the 20th. Vicky can't bowl the 20th because he's already bowled his 4 overs. 4 overs, 29 for 2. The options that they have is Listen can come in and bowl the last over if they want him to. He's bowled 2 overs, 14 runs and picked up a wicket. But right now Sydney brings himself on. He thinks that this is the money over. There seems to be a debate. 𝗰𝗃𝗃 walks back towards long off. Isaac, the batter, facing Sydney. Gets the outside half of the bat, and a single conceded by the point fielder. That should not have been a single. But again, this is what pressure does to you. In tight situations, not everybody is able to stay up to the mark. Now this is where they need some common sense of DELL. Fielders need to move back towards the circle. Akash does not want to take a single. Akash wants to hit a boundary. 129 for 8, 12 needed of 11. Beautifully hit by Akash. Nothing that Vicky can do to stop that. And a no ball called by the umpire. So that makes matters worse. Just 3 fielders inside the circle. That's a game-changing stroke that from Akash. So free hit. Just 7 needed now of 11. Beats him outside the off stump of the free hit. Really now, they'll need to pull the rabbit out of the hat. They know that they need a wicket if they need to stay in this game. Where are they getting that wicket from? They need to get fielders inside the circle. The fielder at short cover needs to move back towards covers. I think he's doing that now. Once again, Vicky just jumps over a straightforward fielding effort. That's the 3rd boundary that he's conceded today. Hat goes out for DELL because they've fought really hard to make a match out of this. They've been let down in the field courtesy some poor fielding. And now he brings the fielder up. Just 3 runs needed now for victory. Fielders coming back inside the circle now. Akash drills it to the fielder at mid-off. Vicky again, just a single. 8 balls left to go, 2 runs to win this game. A lot of words of wisdom coming in from the pavilion. You can hear the noise on the field. Outside edge! It goes towards the fielder at 3rd man. So the scores are tied. Just 1 run needed now of 7 balls. Can Sydney find a way to take a wicket this ball and just get DELL back into this game? No, he can't. That's a single. That's the end of the game. What a phenomenal game of cricket we've witnessed. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 pulled the rabbit out of the hat. They managed to keep their composure. DELL just too many poor fielding efforts towards the end of the game. 3 boundaries conceded. That was their death knell. Abhishek, the player of the game, with 4 wickets. Siva batted really well as well for 39 of his 31. But a word for Akash, who came out there towards the end, kept his composure. 31 of 19. How many times has he done it for his team? Just takes them across the finishing line. Every time it matters. Wonderful performance by Akash. Abhishek, the MVP, Sunil, the best player on the losing side today. What a game of cricket we witnessed. 141 on the board for 140 on the board for DELL. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 chasing that target in 19 overs. Aided a little bit by some poor fielding towards the end of the game, but take nothing away from that phenomenal batting performance from Akash, who kept his temperament and composure in the end of the game to take his team over the finishing line. DELL, they played well. worked hard, both with bat and ball, but in the end they came out second. Happens, it's a game of cricket. You can only have one winner at the end of the day, and that winner was supposed to be Oracle today. The Oracle has spoken, the Oracle has taken this game. Wonderful game of cricket. We hope that you enjoyed the telecast. This is Idris on behalf of Team MVL signing off for the day. Right, I have Sunil with me. Sunil, disappointing end to the game for you?
Yes, to be honest, I would have liked to be on the winning side. Unfortunately, yeah, it's okay. We played well. I think it was a close game. We brought it till the end. It was a close game.
Yeah, it was a very close game. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the game from out there. I'm sure you people must have enjoyed playing it. Where did you think you lost the game?
I think last couple of overs we were slightly clumsy. A little bit of misfielding. If we would have saved another couple of boundaries there, I think we would have been on the winning side. It's just that I think they were also under pressure. So it's just that couple of 8 to 10 runs, we would have been in the game. And firstly, I think we didn't score too many runs. I think we were around 15 to 20 runs short. But yeah, I think we played well. We brought it till the end. I think there were 10 overs, 80 for 1 or something. And
80
the
for
last 80 for 2. And the last 10 overs we defended almost 60 runs. With a shorter end. So yeah.
Yeah, so good job. I think, like you said, I agree with most of the things that you mentioned there. A word on the playing surface. Generally, we see that this is a high-scoring pitch. You've scored, I think, 260, if I'm not mistaken, in the last game. So what was different today? What was going on the surface?
I think the wicket was slightly too pace. In the first innings, it was not coming onto the bat that easily. Kudos to them. They really bowled well. I think spinners especially, the ball was not coming onto the bat. It was difficult to hit. Especially, I think 𝗏𝗏, the leg spinner, he really bowled well. Ball was turning a lot. Comparatively to us, I think we were bowling a little faster. We should have been bowling a little slower in the air.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a key difference. I'm glad that you pointed it out. I think throughout their bowling attack, I think they bowled only 2 or 3 overs of pace, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
But if I think you guys were forced to bowl about 7 overs of pace, I think that was the difference between the two teams. A quick word on your own performance today. I think in the first half of your innings, I think you really struggled to get bat on ball. I think it was evident, especially when you were trying to play it across the line. Like you mentioned, 𝗏𝗏 was getting the ball to grip and go away from you. But then you managed to come back into the game, came back with the ball in hand, picked up a couple of crucial wickets. Reflect on your own performance.
I think initially I was kind of aggressive. I wanted to dominate the bowler. But when I realized the 𝗏𝗏 was getting slightly a bit of drift in his bowling, and then the wicket was too pace, so I decided that I'll slow down my game a bit, play for a few overs, get into the groove, and then go for big hits. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish it well. But yeah, I think that's how it is.
Yeah. A word on 𝗏𝗏's innings. How crucial was that when he came out and finished the game?
Bowling did it for him. Batting, I would still say, we leaked few of the runs. But I think he held on to the nerves. He handled pressure very well. And I think that's the reason they are on the winning side.
All right. Last question for you, Sunil. A word on how do you like the arrangements here? How's the ground? A word on the organizing?
I think this is my first time playing MVL. I really loved it. The ball quality is good, the ground is well maintained, especially the review system. That's something new for me. I think this is the first time I'm seeing a review system in a corporate league. So kudos to the management and especially kudos to you. I've listened to your commentary in my previous match. Really loved it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that kind word. I hope you have a good rest of the tournament.
Hopefully.
And all the best for whatever comes ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have Shiva sir with me, captain of the winning team, Oracle. Talk to me about the last few overs. What was the pressure? What was the situation in the dressing room here?
Nothing. Yeah, we actually, what we are discussing, we are upon batting, we are not executing our plans. So that is where we are discussing. We are keep on discussing, and we are doing same repeated mistakes. So that's what we are discussing, and we are planning to improve on the coming matches. So we have 𝗬ście, so we need to plan accordingly and then do batting and all those things to qualify the platinum.
Right. In my opinion, of all the teams that I've noticed, I think you have one of the best bowling attacks. And I think it's courtesy the slower bowlers that you have in the side. Talk me through what went on when the game started. Because when you guys were bowling, pace bowlers barely bowled anything. How did you make that judgment so early that spinners will do the trick here?
Yeah, I know my bowlers very well. Our strength is bowling. So first 2 overs I seen it, and ball is coming on very nicely on the bat. So and left-handed batting is picking very well.
𝗃𝗏𝗏 was playing really well.
was playing very well, and he's picking well. So that is the reason immediately I bring back the our sun bowlers, left arm spinners. So that was worked for us, and he took the quick wickets. There where match started coming to our way. So we have good bowlers, 𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗏, 𝗏𝗏, and then Meera and Ishaq, they've done their job very well.
Absolutely, all of them did really well. Abhishek picked up 4 wickets today, so I'm sure he'll be the player of the match. But in my opinion, just watching from here, I thought Akash was bowling brilliantly today.
Brilliant, yeah. These two were brilliant, and even Ishaq and Meera also. But if you take as this thing, Akash is exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Turn, bounce,
The bounce, you're right, the bounce that he was getting was exceptional.
Even for me, also very difficult to do keeping because unexpected bounce and turn, lot of turn.
Right.
And if you take the Abhishek, he is very stump to stump.
Yeah,
If
he
you
bowls
miss
wicket
it,
to
he
wicket.
will hit the wicket.
Right.
So, two different variations we have. So, we have
2 very good variations, sir. I think you are in good stead. I think you've now won all of your games except for one.
Yeah.
So which ties you in the second position along with DELL and I think what's the other team? Microsoft have won all of their games, so they are on top.
Yeah.
And I think they will be playing DELL next week.
Yeah, last week DELL.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe everybody is going to get tied with 4 victories and 1 loss. We don't know. It depends on what Microsoft does next week. Let's hope that happens. That will open up the tournament for everyone. Just a last word on Akash's batting, right? I've been a fan, to be very honest, because I've seen him last 2 games. In the last game, you were trying to set a score, and I think he got that momentum out late in the innings, pushed the team to about 130, and you won that game by about 10 runs against 𝗀𝗃𝗃. Today he
Not
came
Qualcomm, I think it's service now.
Service now, sorry, my bad. And today, the situation that he was in there, wickets just seem to be tumbling on the other end.
As I said, we absolutely planned. That is the reason I sent it. If you see, we have very good, decent batters, Ishaq, 𝘃𝗶, and then Chaitanya. So, and we have power hitters, Akash and Gopi. So that is the reason I immediately changed it. Because when we have ball-to-ball runs, so immediately I bring back my hitters. So that's where we worked.
Okay.
So we applied our plan. So okay, if I send it to the decent batters, they scored ball-to-ball. But that's what we are looking.
Right.
So that is the reason I bring Akash up and Gopi up.
So that they could hit.
Yeah, they scored very well.
All right, congratulations, sir. Looks like your tactics worked out today. Last question for you, sir. Word on the organizing. How do you like this tournament overall? How are we doing?
Very well. We liked it. That is the reason we are keep on playing Venkat. I know him long back. So his organization, commentary, your commentary, we are enjoying it.
Thank you.
So even camera part and everything, it's very wonderful.
And the ground itself, the playing surface?
It's very nice.
All right. So that's music to my ear, sir. Congratulations again. All the best for the remaining games of this tournament, sir.
Thank you.
So I have Abhishek with me, the man of the match. How does it feel, Abhishek? 4 wickets today.
Yeah, it's really feel good for me today. Today is the first game for me for Oracle, and it's really good feeling today.
This is your first game for Oracle?
Yes.
Wow, and you're debuting with the Player of the Match trophy. That's fantastic. Fantastic to hear. Very good, close, tight game.
Yes.
Talk me through what was happening last 10 minutes in the dressing room.
Yeah, obviously the wicket fallen down very quickly, so we are tensed a little bit. But Akash was there, so we are confident like they will bat really good there.
As long as Akash is there, sky is the limit.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Also, a quick reflection on your own wickets, right? The wickets that you picked. What was special? What was the pitch doing differently today that helped you pick up the 4 wickets?
I always try to bowl wicket to wicket. So today I also do the same. So I got the wicket because I bowl on the same line and wicket.
And how was the pitch helping you with that?
Pitch was really good there, and I just look at the batsman and try to face her mind, like what they are thinking, and I try to bowl on the same way, like what they are thinking and how to bowl there.
All right, got it. Last question for you, sir. Word on the organizing. How do you like the cricket ground?
It was really good arrangement for everything, and really feel good and looking forward to come next week.
All right, congratulations again. All the best for the next one.
Thank you.